Hi Vijay, good morning. How are you today?
Good morning, Shanti. I'm good. Thanks for asking. How about yourself?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. So, yeah, can you walk me through your profile, please?
Sure. My name is Vijay Deepak. You can call me Vijay. I'm currently working as a data analyst at Sun Life. Right now I'm involved in a customer segmentation project where I have to collect the data, do the preparations on the data, and segment the customer with k-means analysis and cluster and segment the customers. And then I'm also for that we are using like MS SQL Server database, and also using Tableau for the reporting system. I've created reports based on the customer segmentation, presented to the stakeholders for both non-technical and technical stakeholders, and communicate with cross-functional teams in case if there is if the requirement needs for me to get more information from the team. And also before that I worked with my trust mindworks as a data specialist. There most of my activities were preparing dashboards and helping the marketing team for creating campaigns according to the requirements and according to the target audience of the zone basis.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty
So,
much about me.
yeah, what's your team size, Vijay?
It's right now with the project, it's 10 to 15 people.
So,
Um,
how many data analysts are there?
there are two data analysts, data
Mm.
analyst, one data engineer, and one business analyst, and others are four developers, two QAs, and two deployers.
Mhm. What's your day-to-day activities?
My day-to-day activity will be checking for the triggers if the triggers are functioning good or not, and also optimizing the SQL queries for the performance for optimal performance of the database, and also helping the business intelligence team by creating the stored procedures for them so that it will be easy for them to create reports according to the requirements of the stakeholders. And also right now as the contract for the analyst has ended, I'm also involving in the grooming sessions for the requirement gathering, and also documenting it uh, and communicating with the team for, for doing the tasks.
Uh-huh. So, can you describe me a scenario where you have to deal with the missing data in the data set? What approach did you use to handle handle it?
First of all, I would check where the data comes from and which state to which team does the data belongs to, and also check for the if I have a BRD report, I would check for the business requirement onto the BRD reports. I would check if that data gives any insights or not. If the data doesn't give any insights that I required for the requirement to get the requirements done, I would just ignore it. If the missing data has makes an impact onto the insights that is needed, I would definitely have communication with the data entry team as well as the functional to uh, to the team which the data belongs to analyze how this has happened, and find out the root cause for the missing data. And also if the data is very minimal and negligible, I would just remove those missing data and create the visualizations for the customers. But if it is huge, I would do a predictive or statistical analysis onto the data, and find out the mean, median, range, and standard deviations of the data set, with which I would be able to fill out the missing data with the random values with the approval of the manager. If the manager approves, I will create a change request form, and then I will do the analysis and then implement into the data set that I have.
So, how would you assess the data quality then? Once this is done, and how would you assess the data quality, and what steps you ensure that the data you are analyzing is accurate and reliable?
For that, I would do if I would do an ED analysis, exploratory data analysis. I would check if the data has any outliers, if the data has any um, um, any any with the box plot chart. I would check for the pointers. If the pointers are very has a the it has a very long by seeing the visualization I would get if the data are good, or if it has to be communicated with the team and pre-checked and then processed or not, if the data are good or not. I would check the data validation document first of all, to know if I can use the data for the analysis, or if the data is good, it can be profiled or not. If not, I would just request my manager uh, to rectify the problem.
So if it is, see, you are doing the assessment with the outliers, then what is the approach you do for
I would
data?
remove the
Yeah.
if I find any outliers during the ED analysis, I would remove the outliers and do the data cleaning, data profiling onto the data set, and then I would use it.
Can you describe me a situation where you have to visualize the complex data relationship across the multiple tables, and how did you approach creating a meaningful visualization?
So for that, I would understand the requirements. I would find the metrics that I needed to show it to the stakeholders. After finding the metrics, I would analyze for which metrics, what kind of charts will have a more easily represents the visuals of the data. After finding the charts that I need to use for the metrics, I would create the visualizations based on the requirements of the customers, requirements of the stakeholder, and then I would represent it to the stakeholder. If I would present it to the stakeholder, if the stakeholder is non-technical, I would create a presentation for the stakeholder, which gives both, which has both visuals of the reports and dashboards that I have created, as well as the wordings for which the uh, um, for why these metrics are important, and uh, wh- what does the visual represent. So with which the stakeholder can better understand better
So
on the
can you did you do, I mean, do you have experience in, have you ever faced in this kind of situation in your current project, presenting the complex relationship to the stakeholder in visualization board? If
yes I
yes,
have.
yeah, if yes, can you explain me the scenario? What are the metrics you have taken and how you have shown them? You told you want some metrics, right? So what are the
Yes,
metrics you have considered to show the to show in visualization, and how you have made understand to the stakeholders?
sure. So I right now work for a financial company. My part of project is customer segmentation. So what I do is segment the customer based on their behavior and why the cancellations has been happening. So our the metrics would be cancellations based on zonal zones, based on time, based on the income, based on what age category they have belonged to. We have categorized customers based on the age. So we have categories for the customers, and based on those categories, why the cancellations or the insurance has been happening. Segment the customers according to the reason for the cancellation. We have both qualitative and quantitative data. With the quantitative data and qualitative data, I would check what is the reason for the cancellations, and then put with those reasons, I would segment those. With that reason, I would segment the customers also based on age group, based on the categories, based on the zones, based on the demographics, based on the behavior of the customers, and also based on income. And I would create a time series analysis, so that I can, with the historical data, I would predict how the customer behavior is. With that behavior, I would come to a conclusion, and I would suggest I would write the insights that the visualization has been provided. Visualization with the visualization, I would suggest the stakeholders that these insights were being driven from their visuals, and with that, the business owner can make decisions on it.
Do you have some experience on building the models during the predictive modeling?
Yes, I have.
So can you explain me the concept of overfitting in predictive modeling? How do you prevent or mitigate overfitting when building models?
Okay, for for doing predictive modeling, first of all, I would analyze what are the dependent variable, what is an independent variable, and I would check if the dependent variable has any dependence on the onto the independent variable with the linear regressions graph. I would check what it if it has a positive impact or a negative impact. With that, I would be able to drive a forecast based on the past historical data.
Okay. So do you have experience on ETL and data integration also? As I see
Data,
some pipeline, ETL pipeline in your resume.
yes, ETL pipeline. I have collaborated with data engineer and have created triggers.
Tell me the process of building an ETL pipeline for integrating data from multiple resources in data warehouse.
Onto the data warehouse. If I want to integrate, first of all, I'll do the data profiling. I'll do the preparation notes for the data. Make sure if the data, if I have multiple sources of data, I will make sure on each sources the data has been structured, data is profiled, and after doing the cleaning process, I would set up I have done it with the help of a data engineer. I have not done it myself. So my brought up work will be cleaning and assisting him. So what he would do is he would with those data, with the source data files, I would give him the source files the locations of the source file. With the source files, he will set up a trigger uh, from a source to target. He would set up a trigger, and it has a lot of data, and also have helped in mapping those datas with preparing a data dictionary document which has the mapping procedures of which table has on how the tables are related between each other. And he would set up a trigger, he would set up the pipeline uh, to transfer the data, to load the data into the target database by setting up the pipeline.
Tell me what consideration do you keep in mind when designing a dashboard or report to ensure it effectively communicates insights to the stakeholders?
Okay. First of all, I would understand the requirement of the customer. After understanding the requirement of the customer, based on the data that is needed to be represented onto the dashboard, I would figure out what charts will better represent the data. After figuring out the charts that I need to use for the visualization, if, for example, if it is a time series analysis, I would use bar graph, which gives a better understanding for the customer visual understanding of the customer. That's how I segment my for based on the requirements. I segment the charts that I need to use, and then I would create a report which will be easy for the customers, and also I will have filters. I've set up filters and parameters which will be showed onto the top corner of the dashboards and reports, which will be easy for him to filter out and see how the data has been performed based on time, based on gender, or based on category, uh, based on demographics. So this is how I set up a dashboard.
So, how comfortable are you with writing and debugging complex Python scripts for data analysis?
I have done I have used NumPy library, Matplotlib for visualization. I used only for EDA, exploratory data analysis, and also for doing for forecast analysis, predictive analysis.
So,
So I have
provide me
used
an example of using Pandas library to perform data manipulation or analysis in your current project where you have used this Pandas library.
onto the pandas library. I have used to I used I've used to find the standard deviations, mean, median, and maximum of the data set that I have. with which I have done the EDA analysis, statistical analysis, to fill out the missing values onto the data set that I have.
Okay. So, can you provide me an example of challenging situation you have faced while collaborating with the non-technical stakeholders? How did you communicate technical insights effectively with them?
Yes, it's a responsibility of a data analyst to communicate the insights both to technical and non-technical stakeholders. Technical stakeholders have understanding onto the business intelligence too, so it is easy for them to explain. For non-technical stakeholders, as I said, I would prepare a PPT document which provides the major business insight that is needed for them to make any decisions, and also the pointer which is needed for the we need it for the business owners to understand, with which they would easily recognize where the business how the business flow is. So this is how I would communicate. I would I would write a document which has the major points that is needed, that the dashboard, that's based on the insights of the dashboard, and also the pointers that the stakeholder need to understand. And if he has any problem and trouble, I would definitely set up a meeting um, with the non-technical stakeholder in person, and explain him by showing uh, the visualizations, and also filtering it out to him to show how the data is performing on timely way.
Okay, you said you are two members in your project, right? Data analyst. So you both are working. Consider you both are working on the same project and same analysis. And if you want to disagree with your colleague, how will you convey your disagree with your colleague?
First of all, I would so if he has any disagreement, I would understand his point, take his point into consideration. I will check if his point makes better results, will produce a better result than mine. If it provides better result, I would just go on with his opinion. Otherwise, I would explain him why this his point won't work better. Otherwise, I would give my point, which gives a better result, so that he can understand my point of view. Or else, if he doesn't if he disagrees, and uh, we don't have a good rapport, I would definitely take this to my manager, because end of the day, the results for the business matters. So if his opinion has an impact on business, I would definitely raise it to my manager, and I would get him involved.
Okay. So what are the three things you want from your next role? I mean, you want to be in your next role. You want to get from next role.
Good work environment, place to learn and grow, and place where I can provide my insights, where my experience will be very useful for them, for the business, and for both business and for both and myself.
Ours is a startup company. Why do you want to join in a startup company? I have seen in your resume is, I mean, you have your past experiences with good companies, right? So why do you want to join in a startup company?
With the current experience that I also, so if you check on my resume, the company which I worked for first was a startup company, where I was able to learn much of the things, because as there was limited human resource, I got a lot of hands-on experience on multiple stuffs, including gathering the requirements, documenting it, and also got to learn about the exploratory data analysis, which usually the senior analyst would do, not the junior analyst. So right now, with my current role, I have very less scope for learning new stuff. I'm keep on repeatedly doing the same process and same task that I'm doing day to day. So there's very less scope for learning. That's why I want to work in a startup company, where I can get more hands-on and get involved in business um, more vigorously.
Are you on T4 or T4A?
T4.
Okay. What's your notice period?
2 weeks of notice period.
Okay. Do you have any questions? I'm done with the interview.
Yes. So if I get hired, what kind of project will I be working on? And
The same data analyst role, and you will enjoy the work here. And so, if everything goes fine, our HR will get back to you for further rounds. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
thank
do you
you.
have any
Thank
feedbacks
you.
that needs to be given to me?
Yes, I'll give you. I'll give to the recruiter person. She will share it with you. Okay. Yeah.
Right.
Bye. Yeah. Done. I'm done with the interview. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Shanti. Yeah.